welcome back to the Ariel and Omar show. Just kidding, but we should make this like a monthly thing.
We absolutely
should.
Yeah,
Talk about money.
Sure.
We know you love talking about money.
Yeah, money's good, especially when you buy shoes. It's good.
Yeah. Well, I am sitting here with Omar, who is the Senior Loan Officer at View Mortgage, and he's here today to talk to y'all about interest rates.
I am indeed. I know everyone is freaking out about the rumors about what the market's doing, about rates going up. I mean, the truth is rates are going up. So I just want to bring some sort of peace of mind to everyone's heart so that we could all sleep better.
So honestly, a lot has changed since the last time we spoke. So can you tell me specifically what's different?
For one, the rates have gone up. Now, the rates have gone up because that's what the feds wanted to do. They wanted to slow down the market, right? Everybody was going crazy and buying homes. I mean, there was 20 offers for one house. People were overpaying for homes. But now that interest rates have gone up, it has settled down the market, which, to be quite honest with you, is a great advantage for people who are buying homes.
Yeah, so that's interesting you say that because it feels the exact opposite. Why would you say that we're in a buyer's market?
I mean, that's a great point. I say that we are indeed in a buyer's market. Just to give an example, about a year ago, I think we would say we're in a seller's market. So if we're no longer in a seller's market, what does that mean? That means that we're in a buyer's market. You can never have both. You cannot have a seller's and a buyer's market at the same time. So I know everyone's saying, well, Omar, I mean, how could it be a buyer's market when interest rates are almost double than what they were last year? Perfect example, a house maybe last year would have, if you would have paid $500,000 for a home, right? There was probably 20 different offers for that same home, everybody going crazy. And for the most part, the average is people might have paid about $70,000 to $80,000 over that purchase price. I mean, they would even have appraisal gaps because they knew that, hey, this house is probably not going to appraise at $500,000, but yet us Americans were so eager, we were in line to overpay for a house. Now that interest rates are up, that same house for $500,000, you probably can negotiate a price anywhere from $480,000 to $490,000, which in reality, you're getting a better deal. Now, we have a higher interest rate. That's a fact, right? Now, if you think about that same house, the value of that home is still $500,000. Now, the customer who paid $80,000 over and the customer who paid about $15,000, maybe $20,000 less, both in 3 years, it is proven that are probably going to refinance when the market settles. Now, why is that important? Because in 3 years, when they both refinance, now they're both going to get the same rate. However, the only difference is that someone's gonna owe more than the other person. And guess who's gonna owe more? The individual who bought last year and overpaid for their home. That's why I say it's a buyer's market in our current reality.
Yeah, truly that makes a lot of sense. So how are you seeing things play out in the new construction side of things?
That's a great question. I think right now on the new builds, they have an advantage. And the advantage is that there is no longer waiting lists, right? I think the builder now has homes that are ready to move in within 30 to 60 days. Now, the advantage is that there are generous incentives that are being offered to the client, to the buyer who's interested in these different homes. What do those incentives do for you? Well, they'll definitely put money in your pocket because they will cover all of your closing costs. That's number one. Number two, you could buy down your interest rate so that monthly payment could be something that's affordable. Okay, so now with these incentives, it is also important for the lender, for myself, to tailor the needs to the buyer's budget, right? So sometimes that might mean, hey, I need you to use all of that incentive to buy down the rate to the lowest possible. Others, it could be, hey, Omar, I need you to pay my closing cost and buy down the rate, which you could do both. You could take advantage of that. And I think us as lenders, we have to be creative and make sure that we set up every buyer for success.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it is so important for people, buyers, to have a partner like you and View Mortgage walking through the purchasing process.
It is indeed. It's great when you can work as a team, what we call team effort, right? And then one other side point that I would like to make, if it's okay, Ariel, is that something to think about. I know that we always want to negotiate the purchase price, and we might think, okay, let me negotiate the purchase price about $20,000 less than what the builder or any other seller might be offering. Now, just to give us an idea of what $20,000 might do, okay? $20,000 off a purchase price might save you, the buyer, about $100 to $120 a month, okay? However, that same $20,000 for a rate buy down could save you, the buyer, about $300 rather than just taking it off the purchase price. Something that we need to understand, and us lenders need to educate you, the buyer, is that the biggest influencer is the interest rate, not the purchase price. And this is why I say that, specifically with new builds, you have an advantage because you have such a big incentive that you could touch and speak to the biggest influencer, being the interest rate.
All right, as you can see, Omar has the information. And if you are a buyer in this crazy market, I just want to encourage you, call him today. You want him on your team. Here is his phone number. Do you call, you answer any day, anytime?
Every day, 24/7. And
even at 3 a.m.?
I do indeed. I take it
Test
as...
it.
I take it as it's a pleasure for me to serve every buyer, and but most importantly, to educate every buyer on why it is a buyer's market.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Omar. It's a pleasure talking to you.
My
We'll see
pleasure,
you next month.
as always. Yeah.
Great.